Hello guys, welcome again. So let's talk about Bitcoin. As you can see, Bitcoin is dropping. Today actually I closed my position, a swing short position in 1 day chart, 1 day time frame. I closed my position. Why? Because, well, as you can see, Bitcoin right now is testing support. And here, my friend, is where actually I take profits. I know maybe you are thinking Bitcoin is gonna crash to zero right now. But the fact is right now Bitcoin is just in sideways here where the resistance is around here, around 117k, 120k, and the support is in this area between 109 and 107, $108,000. That's why, very simple. So what I did is I opened a long position here, right, in August, and I closed my position here, and now I open a short position here, and I close my position here. You see, following my system of trading. You see here, let me show you. It's actually very straightforward. That's why I'm very happy with my system of trading, because actually it's working. At least 65% of the times it's working, as you can see here. Two entries, one in August, in September 1st. The second entry was in September 19th. And right now I'm looking for the next entry. So what is next right now for Bitcoin? Well, first of all, here the momentum is still to the downside. It's still to the downside. Volume is very weak, but what I'm expecting right now is Bitcoin used to be in sideways here between maybe $108,000, $107,000 around here. Potentially another week to maybe 106, potentially yes, but as long as it's not below 106, everything should be fine. So what I'm looking right now is just sideways here, and eventually in 1 day chart I will be ready to open another long position as long as Bitcoin holds this area. As long as Bitcoin is holding this area, I'm totally fine. So looking for sideways and potential bounce, but now is very soon. So now if we go to 4-hour chart, let's see what is going on right now. Now we know this area of support between $109,000 and $107,000. All of this area is support. Okay, no shorts, right? First of all, no shorts. No shorts. So if we are right now if we check actually, we see what is happening right now in 4-hour chart. We have obvious bullets that brings from in here, and not just only that, also here and here. So what I'm trying to say is, and also bullets are brings here in BSA OBB. So in the short term, I'm looking for a potential bounce, where this bounce could be maybe around 111, 112, maybe this weekend, potentially yes. But overall, is the only thing I can see. As you can see, there is no other signal. You want to take this signal? Well, makes sense. But in my case, I will not take it. I don't care. I don't want to take this signal, because it's just only 4-hour chart. And I will be busy this weekend, so that's why I don't want to waste my time. In my case, what I will do is, actually I want to do is, I will go to 12-hour chart. Actually right now I'm doing my TA here in real time, like I'm doing actually my TA here, looking for the next entry. Sadly, there is no entry. As you can see here, volume is below zero line, actually is dropping here, and also the ADX is positive here, and also curve is still very the momentum is to the downside. So there is no entry right now for me. So what is the best trade? I don't know. I will just keep watching Netflix, right? At least this weekend, enjoy my weekend, looking for a potentially maybe in the future, right? Maybe in a few days, after maybe next Monday, right? Potentially next month, we could see a sideways here, potential sideways here, right? And when I see 12-hour chart, maybe looking for maybe a buy signal here, ADX negative here, potentially I'm gonna start looking for another bounce, maybe in the future, right? Not now. Okay. Now, as you can see here right now, many altcoins, as expected, they are dropping. For example, as I said before, Ethereum was one of the first one. Actually, I said to you, well, this is actually a sell opportunity. It was a short opportunity, as you can see here. Now, the ME55 is testing here. Technically speaking, it's still an uptrend. So as long as Ethereum is holding $3,900, 4,000, everything should be fine, at least for a bounce. The problem here is, remember, there is no volume. If we see this bounce here, is gonna be again a bull trap, right? So Ethereum will keep falling, yeah, all the way down to 2000 in the long term. Now, if we go to if we talk about Bitcoin again, same thing. If we see, actually, let me change the chart here. Yes, this one. If you see here, there is no volume here, right? So what I'm trying to say, if the real volume right now for in support is between $107,000, 106, this area, that is the area actually I'm looking for right now. Around here, this area is the area I'm looking for. If I see another test to this area, and plus we have a buy signal here, I will be more than happy to open another long position. But if I open this long position, this position is gonna be a bull trap. Why? Because Bitcoin will keep falling potentially the following months. I am not bullish anymore for Bitcoin, at least in the long term, because we have actually the confirmation of better variances here in curve, and also volume is losing the previous low of August 2025. So this is actually terrible. This is telling me actually Bitcoin is getting ready for a major pullback, where this pullback will end around here between 94.95 first target and the lowest point 84.85. Yeah, right now I have one short position open, still one is in my main account from 120k. This area, this one is here. This is my short. This is the long-term short position, so I'm okay with that. What I actually was trading is 1-day chart, as you can see here. That's why I closed my position, because I know Bitcoin is testing support. So in my case, I closed my position around $11,000, around there. It's not exact. I'm not. Oh my God, you missed $2,000 move to the downside. I don't care. Profits is profits. Profits are profits. So that's why I'm very happy. Actually, I could actually make some profits. So in general, all the market is doing the similar things. Testing the MA55 here. Tron is actually testing the MA55 here. XRP testing the MA55 here, and BNB. As I said before, wait for the pullback. BNB is the only altcoin I think for me is looking strong enough to actually keep pumping. It's the only one. Hype, as you can see here, testing the MA55 here. As long as this area is not broken, maybe next year we could see next week we could see a potential bounce. Now let's continue with the Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance, as you can see here, is very simple. Bollinger variance here. The MA55 is testing here, as you can see here. So of course it's obviously like is Bitcoin momentum, altcoins, right? This move we saw here in here only with short term, like people, YouTubers, right? People, they call it like it was alt season. Well, I disagree. This was just a normal correction, and this is like this, right? In the following months, I'm talking about October, November, December. Potentially we could see another leg up here. Maybe not all-time high, but yes, a leg up. Yeah, makes sense. So let's talk about the USD dominance, because actually it's very interesting here. It's very bullish here. Weekly chart is bullish here, looking for a breakout, because as you can see here, is making new high. So is this OBB is breaking the previous high of September and actually June. So we can expect a potential breakout where 5%, 5.40% should be the target, and eventually in the monthly, I am looking for a buy. Actually, it's forming right now. It's forming right now. If you see this signal right now in monthly, game over for Bitcoin. Game over for Bitcoin. I'm telling you right now, especially with this move here, in OBB, as you can see, is breaking this resistance, the previous high of this one, and it's very bullish. This is accumulation, my friend. I can tell you with a very high probability, I am maybe 70% sure, like finally we found the top for Bitcoin. Yeah, 120.23 was the top. There is a very high probability to start calling the top. Yeah, but I want to wait for the close of October. Of September. If we see the formal buy signal here, I am pretty confident to say, yeah, Bitcoin finally reached the top, and from here we will start looking for major corrections in overall, like over the time, right? In 1 year, looking for maybe $40,000 in the long term, 2026. Yeah, is actually doable. So that's why be careful with your investments, right? Because I know you're bullish, you're following YouTubers, you're following a lot of crap on Discord. Careful with private signals providers, right? Signal providers. There is nothing wrong with that. Just you need to. They have to prove you over the years that actually they know what they are doing. Of course, they will fail, right? All of us. I take many losses over the time, but overall, in the big picture, well, I cannot complain about my system of trading. Okay, now let's talk about gold. Something is very interesting here. Let me show you gold in the stock market because, well, it's something very interesting here. I'm going to talk in this live stream about the dollar and gold because actually it's very, very interesting what is happening right now. Let me show you here Dixie. Dixie is actually very, very interesting here because now Dixie was on 109 in February 2025 and dropped all the way down to 97. Now, if we see here, is testing support right now, and the trend is your friend, and the trend is to the upside, right? It's like this. So as long as it's holding here, maybe this year we could see another leg up. And what does that mean? Well, Bitcoin and all the assets, especially in the crypto space, they will start crashing because the dollar is a contrary indicator. When the dollar is bullish, Bitcoin is bearish, technically. Overall, of course, I am very bullish on Bitcoin overall, like forever and ever in the macro scale, because as long as the dollar is just paper money, right? They are just printing money. Of course, Bitcoin will be very expensive in the next 10 years, maybe 500k, 1 million, potentially, yes. Because the system was designed like that, right? Bitcoin, I am very bullish in the macro scale. I am not a financial advisor, I remember, but I truly believe like buying dips for Bitcoin at least the next 5-10 years is still actually worth it in the long term, of course, right? 5-10 years. But as you can see here, dollar will be bullish very soon, maybe in a couple months. So that's why I'm looking for a buy signal here. Let me see the weekly chart. Weekly chart potentially, yeah. It's looking actually very interesting here. It's sideways here, a little bit lazy here. I think we have to wait, but we will see 101, 102. But the monthly is coming. Let me see by monthly. By monthly, yes, same thing. Actually, I like much better this chart, as you can see here. The dollar is about to fire another buy signal. Previously, when we have this signal, as you can see here, we will have this signal, and actually, let me see something. From the buy signal to the sell signal, it was 2 years actually. 2 years, this one, and this one from the buy signal to sell signal, okay, around 3 years. So we can start thinking like the dollar will be bullish for the next 2 years at least. So we will be maybe in 2027, 2028. So that's why it's a time for bear markets. Bitcoin usually is correcting and crashing for more than 1 year, 1 year and a half. So it makes sense because you see the market right now for Bitcoin and crypto is extremely expensive right now. Yeah. Trying to buy crypto right now as investor is crazy. I mean, there is no way I can actually buy or suggest to someone to buy Bitcoin or any cryptocurrencies right now because the market is too expensive. So we have to wait for a beautiful correction where the target should be around 50k, 40k. Let's see. Okay, I think this live stream is gonna be very short because it was just an update from my previous live stream yesterday, right? Because I am using these live streams like to show you in real time actually my executions, right, about trading. So as you can see here, we have the sell signal here. This trade was successful. Yeah, I'm very happy. Nice. And now let's talk about the next move. As I said before, the best trade right now is doing nothing. There is no trade. We have to wait. The ADX is positive here. It's very weak, but it's positive here. The momentum is still to the downside. I'm gonna wait for the next monthly close. Now, one thing here is very interesting. if this weekend something bad happened and Bitcoin, the monthly close below $108,000, $107,000, get ready, because this is gonna be the trigger to see Bitcoin in the following year, 80,000 and 60,000K, 60,000, 65,000, okay, in the following year. Now, if we go higher in bi-monthly, let me tell you something, there is a shot in a star here in bi-monthly. Usually this shot in a star and potentially gravestone candle together actually is the signal for a massive sell signal in long-term bear markets. Now, let me show you here something very interesting here. We have the bi-monthly here, if we see the sell signal here in 2018 and also in 2021. Pay attention of this. This is very, 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 very interesting. The crash from this signal to here was 65%. Let me do that properly. 65% from the signal to the bottom. And here was from the signal to the bottom was 73%. So right now, Bitcoin is about to fire another sell signal. So if from the top to the bottom, 65 and 75, right? 65 should be 40,000, and 75 should be $30,000. Okay, so get ready, because the bear market is coming. There is a very high chance to see actually this is the bull market actually technically is over, almost over. Well, not over, because the trend is your friend. Well, the trend is still to the upside, but as investor, we need to know exactly when actually is a good time to exit. Okay, so I think one more thing I want to show you here is the long-term chart, like BLX in the monthly, because actually it's very interesting as well. As you can see here, we have exactly the same setup here in the monthly, but I want to show you something interesting here is the RSI. The RSI in the long term, believe me or not, but it's actually, it's actually quite good. Let me just remove this one. Something we have very interesting here, and I really like about this chart, is for first time in the history of Bitcoin, we have not just one, we have 3 better variances in the monthly. So just saying, like, we didn't have this kind of setups before, as you can see here, right? So we have 1, 2, 3 plus sell signal here. It's actually very interesting because we have also the same setup. Well, only here in OBB we have only just one, but in the monthly, that's the most important thing for me, is in the monthly. So that's why I want to be very careful, especially as investor. I think the time to start taking profits is coming. And I think that's all, guys. That's all for today. I think this live stream was very short because it was just the following. I'm following the same technical analysis I showed you yesterday, and that's why I think now Bitcoin is just about time. Bitcoin is moving sideways, potential bounce. Well, that's all, guys. Thank you for watching, and